Your jump height is the biggest thing holding you back from getting better at volleyball, and this workout is going to help you fix that. I'm about to walk you through a full lower body workout for volleyball players, including the exercises, sets, and reps to do so you can implement this workout immediately and start jumping higher. Really quick, my name is Greg Hersig, also known as the Volleyball Strength Coach. I'm a former D1 opposite. I have a master's degree in sports performance, and I'm currently running the largest online strength conditioning company for volleyball players, where my team and I have helped train over 1,000 volleyball players to jump higher, hit harder, and overall become better, fitter volleyball players. This workout is one of the lower body workouts I've been following personally to help increase my athleticism and maintain my volleyball performance through my mid-30s. It's got some exercises that are pretty out of the ordinary, so keep an open mind and you might see something you like. Really quick, make sure you subscribe to the channel because I'll be posting volleyball workout videos like this every week. Also, make sure you hit that like button and drop me a comment on whether you want more voiceover videos like this or more of a live mic'd up style. Okay, let's get into it. I would recommend you start with some type of warm-up like a backward sled or treadmill, a warm-up jog, or some other cardio work. Usually 3 to 5 minutes of one of those is a great option to just get some blood flowing and get your heart rate up. I just find that I always have a better, more intense workout when I do get my heart rate up at the beginning. After that, we're going to get our first exercise for the day, which is going to be 2 of the spring ankle drills. The spring ankle drills are a series of isometrics that I learned from Cal Dietz while studying triphasic training, and they're designed to hit 5 different positions within the sprinting gait cycle. They're a combination of holding either in a 90-degree knee angle, a slight knee bend, or no knee bend, as well as the heel elevated versus the heel not elevated. If you want to properly progress these, start with 30 seconds on each leg with no weight, then over time work up to 60 seconds on each leg for each of the 5 positions. After you can do all 5 drills for 60 seconds on each leg, go back to 30 seconds and start adding weight. It's typically the easiest to do with a dumbbell, and you can also feel free to hold on to something for balance because this is not intended to be a balance drill. In general, these are some of the best isometric drills to help hip, knee, ankle, and foot, and they're some of my personal favorites. You should also do them barefoot or in barefoot shoes if it's possible, just for the maximum benefit for the foot. So we're going to start with the spring ankle 1, which is done with a 90-degree knee angle and a low heel. And I'm doing this for 30 seconds on each leg with weight. I'm pairing that with spring ankle drill 4, which is with a slight knee bend and a high heel. And I'm also doing 30 seconds on each leg with the same weight. I did 3 sets of each, increasing the weight each time to find something that was a pretty challenging load. So now that we're warm with some isos and some heart rate work, let's get moving. Next, I moved on to my plyometrics, which, if you saw my last lower body video, is going to be a couple of warm-up style plyometric drills. The first is the 1-to-1 split exchange leaps. So start with your feet in a staggered stance and alternate between jumping straight up and switching your feet. We're going to do this at a really low intensity for higher reps, and I love the splits because it changes the stress on each leg. The back leg of the split stance is going to get a different load on the Achilles, similar to when you step backwards to push off. It's great for Achilles prep and getting a ton of low intensity reps as a warm-up, and I did 40 total jumps per set. I paired those with some deep tier leaps, and I also did a 1-to-1, alternating a lower jump with a slightly higher jump. Again, this is just a warm-up, so the intensity was pretty low and the reps were pretty high at 20 total jumps. Because we're going to squat later in this workout, I wanted to prep my tissue, especially my knees, in a similar squatting type of position that we'll be in later. I did 3 sets of each of these as a warm-up, alternating between the exercises and increasing the intensity with each set. The last plyo I did, which was done with the highest intensity, were these deep tier lateral bounds. These are an incredibly important exercise for volleyball players because they work on your ability to push off laterally for things like blocking and defense and just overall change of direction. I did 3 sets of 5 on each leg and increased the intensity set by set by either increasing the jump height or increasing the lateral distance that I jumped. Make sure you really stick the landing, keep your balance, and get deeper into a 90-90 joint angle. Similar to the last workout, we're going to move to some kettlebell work, and today is going to be a single arm kettlebell snatch. The kettlebell snatch is one of my favorite kettlebell exercises for volleyball players because it forces you to absorb the weight of that kettlebell coming down from a really high position and then redirecting it super quickly with a lot of power so you can get it back up over your head. It's also important to establish some control at the top, which gives you a really good overhead stability stimulus, and this is great for strengthening your shoulder in a relatively specific hitting position. The single arm also gives you a little bit of rotation at the bottom, which is great for strengthening your lower back, and it's overall just good for grip strength. The most important tip is that you don't flip the kettlebell over your wrist and smash it. Instead, you rotate your arm as you come up so that the bell meets your arm at the top. I did 3 sets of 5 reps on each arm, increasing the weight each set. The next power exercise following this theme is the landmine university snatch. This exercise is a bit more tricky than the clean from the last video because you actually switch hands in the middle of the exercise. So you go from pulling with one hand to locking out with the other hand, and that handoff definitely feels pretty weird in the beginning, but once you get used to it, this exercise becomes super fun and forces you to be really explosive to get that bar all the way over your head without pressing out. I did 3 sets of 3 reps on each arm, again, increasing the weight. For my main strength movement of the day, I did a barbell back squat, but with a twist. Not literally. For the most part, I do my heavy squats as either half squats or box squats above parallel, and lately I've been adjusting the tempo of those pretty heavily. Today you can see I'm doing this with a faster eccentric and a lighter weight so I can work on decelerating, absorbing that load, and redirecting that quickly just like you do when you jump. I do just have to warn you that this is part of a progression and I would not recommend you do this exercise without proper preparation. So let's walk through what that would look like. The first thing I did was 2 weeks of overloaded eccentric back squats where I would lower with more weight than I could lift. This really trains the muscles and the tendons and the nervous system to handle tons of weight. Then for a few weeks, I did half squats with a faster eccentric, so on the way down, but I would pause at the bottom. Having the phase of pauses really helps with injury prevention because going directly into fast reps with a fast eccentric has a higher likelihood of injury as opposed to building some specific strength by pausing at the bottom first. And that led me to these, which is again, fast down and fast up. If you're not ready for these quite yet, you can always just do regular back squats, regular half squats, or box squats instead, just trying to get as strong as possible. I did 5 sets working up to a heavy set of 3 with these. Finally, I finished off with some leg curls as my only remaining accessory exercise. Since I did a lot of hip extension with the kettlebell work, I wanted to throw in some knee flexion as well to train the hamstrings in that way. I really like to do single leg hamstring curls, and my favorite is a 2 up, 1 down variation where, again, you're overloading the eccentric by lifting with both legs and just lowering with one. This is similar to something like a Nordic hamstring curl. The reason that Nordics are so beneficial is because, for most people, they are an overloaded eccentric since people can't come back up. We can actually replicate something similar with a leg curl by doing an eccentric with more weight than we can lift. I only did 2 sets of 5 reps on each leg with the overload. If you have some time and want some more volume, you can finish off with a calf raise variation at the end here. Between the isometric holds in the beginning and the plyometrics after that, I didn't do anything additional, but it would be okay if you wanted to. So that's it for today's workout. Let me know what you think down in the comments, and remember to let me know if you like this format or if I should do more of a mic'd up format instead for the next one. Make sure you hit that subscribe button and like the video so you don't miss the weekly drops I'm going to do for these type of volleyball workouts. Finally, if you do want some help getting the best volleyball shape of your life, then click the links down in the description or in the pinned comment. The first link is for our one-on-one online coaching, where we give you all of the tools you need to become the healthiest, fittest volleyball player after 25, including fully custom volleyball workouts, nutrition, live coaching calls, and way more. The second link is for my workout membership, which gives you access to 9 pre-built volleyball-specific workout plans that you can do at the convenience of your own time to help you jump higher, hit harder, and eliminate knee pain. I appreciate you for making it this far in the video, and I'll see you on the next one.